Oh, I'm live. Or at least it tells me I'm live. I just tried to go live through Zoom and it was a third line failure. So, or mishap, whatever you want to call it. And so I decided that I'm just going to go live directly through YouTube. So, hello and welcome to this weird live around third line bonds made and broken. Um, I'm going to hopefully not take too much time. Um, this is my second time ever going live, and I'm used to recording things and being able to edit things, but I feel like it's really important for me to be raw and vulnerable and in the moment. I am a 1-3 sacral generator, if you didn't know, and I think being in the now is the most juiciest part of what it can mean to be a sacral generator. I think so many generators are not present in the moment, and I really want to honor my true nature and honor my true self. I think for a long time now, or for at least a little while now, I kind of lost the plot of why I'm here. And for whatever reason, I felt like instead of recording a whole episode, that I would go live, and I would go live in a place that there's not too many people. And I really wanted to talk to you today about the trajectory of the Human Design and Astro Club through a bond that was recently broken. I've been sending emails recently saying that I wanted to share um, some hard life experiences that I've recently had. One of them I definitely want to go deeper in an email. It was actually probably the catalyst for this big change that I just recently made. I'm still kind of working through it and processing it, but gate 29, it's so weird. This is how real human design is. This is how real human design is. Gate 29 just retrograded because Mercury's retrograde, as we know. Gate 29 just retrograded back into the gate that I broke this bond with. And it's actually the gate that connects to my unconscious sun and my unconscious Mercury. So the big pull to come on here, because my unconscious sun and Mercury is gate 46, love of the body. I am a vessel of love. And so gate 29 just moved, the gate of commitment just moved right back into basically the time that I had this conversation with this individual. And so that individual was actually Leah. Um, I'm just going to rip the band-aid off right now. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then I want to read a quote from Ra. And I also want to ask you to stick around to the end so that I can tell you the trajectory of the Human Design and Astro Club and a couple really incredible opportunities that I'm going to have for you guys. So, anywho, let's rip the band-aid off. About 3-ish weeks ago, it's been, you know, a while coming. Some of you already know, some of my clients that I already told you guys. Some of you probably have maybe thought about it. I have had some DMs about questions about where Leah and I are in relation to the Human Design and Astro Club and what's going on. Things seem different. And here's the thing about third lines. When the bond is like when the bond is at the end, because I feel like the third line is going through this accelerated human experience, where the caterpillar is on the ground floor and we're just kind of munching on all the things, bumping into everything that we could possibly bump into. And we're really here to, as third lines, here to experience. And so when I look at them as soul contracts with third lines. When those soul contracts have expired, it's time to go. And so I want to also preface that Leah and I entered into this relationship with the Human Design and Astro Club as nine-centered beings, and we exited as nine-centered beings. And it's really hard for me to talk about. I've already cried about it a few times before I came on here. Hopefully all the tears have gotten out, but maybe they haven't. I don't know. But being a third line, I have learned, and that was one of the hardest places for me to fully accept at the beginning. It's one of the places I cried about the most. I have to accept that not every relationship is forever. And sometimes there's even moments in breaking the bond and then coming back together. So I have a quote from Ra. I like to usually activate my completely open throat through a Ra quote a lot. So I just wanted to read this one about third lines. And this one is for you, third lines, and also for six lines that remember their third line experience. So here's what Ra said, the part that I want to read about the third line. Oh, if I could change the life of third line beings, you could really change the world. You can. That's what they're about. And the depth of the suffering on this plane is what they carry as their baggage. It's this not self baggage that litters everywhere. The failed bonds at all kinds of levels. You have bonds made and broken. It came from our earlier treacheries, the first lies. So the bonds made and broken in the not self become the same things played out in the drama of it, the martyr's drama, the suffering drama, the woe is me drama, the oh it will never work, oh I can never. It's like looking at somebody who's the greatest example of anything, and they're saying to you, I'm useless. I can't do anything. They're the ones that carry the gift. They are the penetrators of the Maya. They're here to move us forward. And moving forward doesn't mean that we expand the Maya. Moving forward means that as nine centered beings, we begin to readjust it to what we are. And so sometimes we have to allow ourselves to change. The third line is the stairs. I really love the Raw analogy around the house for all the lines, and the third line are basically the stairs to ascension to the fourth line of the upper triagram. And so I've already allowed myself to let go and get ready for a new chapter. I am going to be consuming the Human Design and Astro Club, and it will just be me and you, my community. Whew, that was a hard one to say. Community. My core wound is in the 40.4. And there's this part of me that feels very alone in this process now. But I've also met some really, really beautiful people along the way of this journey. And so, doing this live, whew, probably shouldn't have put makeup on. But I have a deep desire. I am desire motivation. I have a deep desire to build a real community. I came online in 2020 to start sharing human design. Ra talks about that if the generator goes into their passion, The byproduct will be material success. If they can be in satisfaction of the real work that they're here to do. Real work that they're here to do. Monetary go into this to make money. Money comes from the satisfaction. And I've had some really satisfying experiences and really satisfying experiences with Leah. So that's why it was also hard. And she's a wonderful person. I want to preface that. This is nothing bad necessarily happened. I wrote something actually. I want to read that. Where did I put that? I wrote, I wasn't seeing myself in anything other than the copy in the classes that I was writing and doing. I was holding on to the satisfaction of the classes and clients and breakthroughs, but a good deal of everything else felt frustrating. You either grow with the third line in power view and desire motivation with a similar trajectory, or the bond will break. And so not everybody is going to move forward with you. And so me built this and what I can do. And I've really come to be of service to you. The reason why I started Journey Through HD, which you can find me there on Instagram, Journey Through HD. Why I started that was because I used to hate myself, and I grew up with an abusive father, and I didn't believe that I was worthy. I didn't believe that I was lovable. I think as a vessel of love, to be in the lowest expression of that is, it's like there was no life force for a long time. And then I found human design. Well, first I found Kabbalah. I do have a Kabbalistic background. Found that first. And then a little after that, I found human design. And I've been 7 years experimenting with it. 4 years, I guess, sharing it professionally, really 3 years of having the Human Design Astro Club. So this is still just at the beginning. I think the first 5 years of a generator in a business is at the beginning. And we're here to master something. I'm here to master helping people love themselves again. I'm a vessel of love. I came to show people how to be correct in themselves. My conscious sun is gate 10. Okay, I need a drink for a second. So before I tell you where the Human Design and Astro Club is going, because I want to tell you about that, I also looked up the chart of this day that I broke this bond, and I just want to read some of the gates and the lines that it was in, because it's just kind of wild. This is how real human design is. And if you didn't know, we used to have the look ahead monthly forecast, but now it's moved into an email. It's a monthly that you can pick up. And so it's called the Cosmic Programs and big activations of the month and the new moons and the full moons and whatever else is important to help you have a successful month. You can find that at humandesign.astro.com. I'll also drop everything once I get off here. Hopefully I'll be able to put everything in, but the place to find everything is humandesign.astro.com. You could also DM me on Instagram, Journey Through HD. Also, I am Human Design Astro Club also on Instagram, but I'm not always on that account. Journey Through HD is my main account. I'll try to drop everything down below. So the sun was in gate 56, the Wanderer, when this happened, which is interesting because it's an expression, a throat gate. There was a bunch of throat gates that were in the 56, the 35, the 20, and so the 20 was hooking up to my 10 and helping me speak my truth. What was really fascinating was also that gate 60, which is my what is it? My unconscious moon, which is your karmic debt and your attractor. That was retrograding through Pluto as well. So the 60 reads the line of inflexibility. Now, the interesting part was in exaltation. And this is shining a light on the sun and the ability to be flexible and adaptable within set boundaries, like a company that can pivot its strategy changes while still adhering to its core values. I feel like breaking the bond on that day and allowing myself to pivot, realizing that the only limitation is me and the hard conversation that I needed to have. And when you understand the depth of basically the cosmic roadmap, because that's what the transits are, the cosmic roadmap, in relation to yourself, they can actually be really supportive. Because there was also another one, because I had the hanging 41 in my unconscious Jupiter, so it's a big part of the way the entirety of my vehicle expands. Okay? And so the moon had moved into gate 30, giving me an emotional charge with my 41 and giving me actually some emotional support. And if I didn't know that this gate was in transit, it could have been to my detriment. I want to read this gate. This is the clinging fire in the 6th line. Okay. And it says, allowing negative circumstances to go unaddressed. Instead of actively working to overcome them, like a person who remains in an unhealthy job. So weird that it's talking about also job and work and like as a generator, like doing your correct work. It says, or environment instead of seeking change. I didn't allow the heavy emotions that I was feeling in my body to hinder me and stop me from moving forward. And so that's what's going to happen now. I'm going to allow myself to move forward with the Human Design and Astro Club. I want to invite you this Sunday, if you're listening or watching the replay, and you're hearing this before August 18th. August 18th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am doing another Intro to Variables live webinar where you can come with your questions on the variables, and we're going to walk through all of the 4 variables in their 6 colors. And one of my last color code variable intensive mad scientist members said the reason why she decided to join the last round of our color code intensive is because of this webinar. She said that if somebody gave this information for free, like, and it was this good, what could her actual paid offers be? And so I actually really found my fractal. Like everybody that came to that live ended up joining the last intensive. And for me, this is actually a part of being of service, really allowing myself to share this information for people that really need it and maybe don't have the means to get this information. I really pride myself as a defined ego on accessibility for people with this information because it really changed my life. So if you're looking to better understand the variables, join me August 18th. It's free. It's completely free. I will drop the link in the show notes down below, or you can go to humandesignastro.com and it's on the homepage. Intro to Variables webinar, August 18th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the last thing is I am doing a series on the human design types. And I'm inviting you, yes, you, if you're listening to this or watching this, I'm inviting you to come on the podcast, okay, which will also be on YouTube, and share your human design experience as your human design type. Now, I do have a form that I will also drop that in the show notes down below for you to sign and fill out so that I could hopefully choose you. I have been circulating that form. It was on another podcast episode. I've given it to my email list. So right now, I just want to say I do have everybody. All of the types have filled out this form. I haven't chosen anybody yet. I wanted to give enough of my community to be able to fill out this form and then decide who's the right fit to come on the podcast. I really want to highlight you. I really want my community to feel like they're here and I'm not just speaking at you. So this is, I guess, where I'm going to close out. I got a lot going on. And I really just wanted to be able to come on here and share this. There is another aspect to this, as I said earlier, the catalyst that kind of brought me to this place. And I'm going to be talking about that in my email. I'm not sure exactly when, but I'll be sending this live to my email list and going a little bit deeper on everything and explaining the catalyst that kind of, I guess, the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. That was also devastating. That was a few months ago. It's why I haven't really been on anything on social media. But I remember why I came here and why I started all of this. And so thank you so much if you've made it this far. And please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments if you would like. You can send me an email at hello@humandesignastro.com if you feel more comfortable doing that. You can shoot me a DM over on Journey Through HD on Instagram. I'll try to drop everything down below. And I just want to thank you so much for being part of this community and being here. I really appreciate you. All right. Bye for now.